How can you not like this guy? Like, really? Even the laugh is freaking perfect. Anyway, Alice, I think Alice very, very, very nearly dies in his early engagement and didn't actually need a flash, but we were very early engagement. And this is the problem when you play Veigar. It's sort of, if I took E, I could have trapped all of them there, maybe gotten a few more kills, but the other point was, but then you would do no damage. It's just one of those, and then if you take E, like you're stunned to begin with, then all that's going to happen is in lane, your opponent who's not retarded when you get to plat, in like most cases, let's not go into how retarded people in plat are. They would just be really aggressive on you because they know what is going to happen. Like, oh no, I've been stunned with no follow-up. And this is the other thing where movement speed comes in handy. She's, what, 325 movement speed. I'm on like 355, 360. I'll easily catch up to her. I flash with a Q. So I do start lane with an advantage per se. But hey, Vinegar, my new love ever since LeBlanc has been completely destroyed. Please not mention LeBlanc in my presence, let me grieve in peace. I might have mentioned this in the Swain video, but again, let me grieve in freaking peace. So, Veigar is one of those champions where, I'll go into more details later, but I started with double fairy charm and 3 health potions because I expect to get shoved to my turret because it's aura, right? In most cases, you will be bullied to shit in, oh no, wrong way around. Bleh. In most cases, you'll be bullied around quite a lot in lane until later. So I expect it to be at my turret for most of the time. I know it's Zin, but it's like, if I'm stuck at my turret, he can't exactly... There's nothing inventive. There's no like flag and drag, like flash flag drags rubbish that I need to be wary of. It's just, well, straight up walk up to you, gang. So in the meantime, it's just farming. I know some people say run around and try, you should use your Q on your opponent more. I am of two minds about that. Because my flash is down to begin with, right, I can't really afford to go aggressive as much as I would love to. Second part was, if I go aggressive, there's a habit of it pushing in their direction. And that's just worse. So I managed to get 2 autos off. I'm happy with that. But then she shoved the ball in my face and dissonance. There was a question in my head of whether I could kill her here or not. If I was Swain, definitely. As Veigar, probably not, as I just used Q. And it's just, maybe. The minions were aggroing onto her, but I thought that her cooldowns were definitely less than my Q. I wasn't certain as to whether this, like, I could kill her before she killed me, basically. Like, that's a lie. It was on cooldown. Like, I stun at 1.5 seconds. Like, minions might keep hitting her. It would have been like really dicey. I didn't want to risk it because falling behind as Veigar is something that it's just not good. I know the other argument against not being aggressive is you end up being incredibly passive. And it's by being aggressive that you force errors from your opponent because they just break under the pressure and make a mistake. Nah, I don't know. Really, I don't know. She still managed to take the meteor to the face because I just shoved it dead center. 2 things when you do Event Horizon and Meteor. If they run to the edge, I always drop the rock on their head, but if they don't, then they normally mirror. If you drop it dead center, one of 2 things normally happens. Either they try to dodge it and walk into the wall anyway, in which case you can just auto-attack them, or I don't know, they normally just make a mistake, or they take it like that to the face. But right now, I generally like taking a second point in Q. It says QEQ. Because Meteor, the problem with using Meteor to farm is inevitably you might end up pushing the lane, which is something that you don't want. Veigar will quite happily sit under his turret to farm, right? Unlike, like, say, LeBlanc or like Swain, but in this case, I'm just getting balled to the face. Like, oh well. Nothing strange. Just want to see us under the turret, sort of failing a bit, but Main part was, I just don't want to get killed. CS, CS, CS. It is sort of logical. Oh, she's recalling. I didn't know she was recalling. I don't know why. She went to get a tier, but like, is she around? I guess she's around, but sort of, alright, start pushing then I guess. I don't know. Definitely reserve a queue for the big creep. That's the other thing I can tell you about. What other things can I tell you about with the Veigar matchups? Since I've lost the Blanc, and I don't like Swain against Orianna because she has so much range, I take Veigar. To run around, Q stuff, back out, and just far less vulnerable to her dicking you over the ball. It's just, I'm just going to sit around here and Q farm. And eventually at 6, I can close the gap with my stun and blow your shit up. And the other part was, it's, the other part was, if, say, a gank comes along, you're far more likely to get a kill, because at the end of the day you can't flash out of a stun, and you're like unloaded all of your damage. I mean, if she blows flash with never move, then that's one thing, but it's sort of catching her again is an issue. So with stun, you can kill them then and there, which you have an argument for. But yeah, she's out CSing me. This is pretty much standard anyway. I mean, I'm just losing CS to the turret, preparing it for last hitting. And I probably shouldn't have hit that one actually, but still. She's now 10 CS ahead of me, even though I was lucky I got that kill, but it didn't translate into much, because I just bought boots with it in order to run around better, which didn't stop me from getting hit at all. So I guess you could say it was a waste in the end of the day. Now she comes, and she was completely oblivious to the fact Jarvan was here. This is the problem, right? This is one of my issues I had, was... Gone are the days when I could incredibly easily land a cage without any issues whatsoever on someone's head. In this instance, it didn't work out so well, right? Cuda, and then Jarvan shows I throw a cage up, so I thought that hit her, right? To me, I thought the edge of this tree had hit her, but apparently it didn't. So I missed my meteor, like, or do I? She just stands there, takes it to the face. No, I do hit her anyway with it. And like, run away, but she... The thing about Orianna is that she won't be able to 100-0 you, and you're more likely to 100-0 her. At the end of the day, right, you can... due to the nature of her ability, she can always flash out of her most damaging ability, which, like, if she shoves the ball to ult you or something, you can just flash out of range and then just keep hitting her afterwards. That was the other thing that I like about this matchup as well, but no, I missed my cage. Jankiest thing about Veigar, landing that cage and putting it on people as opposed to getting it, as opposed to hoping people walk into it. I mean, there are other, there's just so many nuances that, no, I don't know if I'm going to write a guide for Veigar. It's a long way off yet. I mean, I played Veigar solidly yesterday and the day before then, just to get a feel back for his characteristics. I'm still screwing up. Like, the delay, the cast delay on Event Horizon will also screw you over a bit. Like, you have to predict a bit, and then if there's even the tiniest maneuver from them to screw it over, then you're just like, well, shit. I'm completely vulnerable now. This game did not exactly go in our favor. I mean, it might look like a stomp. Jarvan DCs for a long time, and Ali keeps DCing as well. Top's doing really well, but what the fuck to expect? Jax has freaking teleport, except our bot lane's being crushed. Mid's doing okay. I mean, I'm not failing. I got the kill. I had to buy Sorcerer's Shoe. I just like buying Sorcerers because I like being able to close with her if I wanted to, right? Like, the momentum in the lane is mine, basically. I'm on 400 movement speed. She is still on 325. If I want to hit her, I can hit her. If I want to dodge her, I can dodge her. Like, Battle Mage Veigar. Sometimes I'll start off a ring, sometimes I'll buy a ring. In this case, I was basically set up for a long farming war. I outscale her, and this is one of the greatest things, was when you get to somewhere like Plat, in a lot of cases your team does not completely and utterly collapse. It's not that great for lower level play because you have to force something from your opponent all the time. I hope to develop the aggro Veigar style of play later, but meh. In the meantime, it's just farm. And when you play Veigar a lot, you soon realize just how bloody sexy that cage is. Like, the stun is so long, and it's just such a massive AoE stun. There was an argument a while ago. I remember seeing that it could easily have been an ultimate ability to potentially stun the entire team, but 2.5 seconds is nuts. But oh well. Icy's in prowling around my flank, so I'm just going to push it and leave. This is why I have movement speed Quint and tier 2 boot. By the time he comes around to get me, I'm gone. Goodbye, see you. Not there. Go gank somebody else. I'm a cute fuzzy purple thing. Well, maybe. I should probably talk about item choices. One of the things I don't know with regards to Veigar is my damage potential. Right? By the time I like, what the fuck was that aimed at? I don't have a clue. Right? Some of these cages I pull and I look at now, I think, what the fuck were you aiming at? I don't know. But still, with regards to Veigar's items, for a long time, when I mained him to begin with, I thought Chalice was an absolutely pointless item. This was slightly true back then because Chalice built into absolutely nothing. Now it builds into Athenes, which actually isn't as bad an item on Veigar as I initially thought it would be. Because end of this build, I have around 34% CDR. Right, having your stun on something like an 8-second cooldown is really quite clutch. As we'll see later. I mean, my max CDR meteors 6 seconds and your Baleful Strike 2.4. You output so much damage if you're given the chance to. Veigar's key weaknesses are oh yeah, now it's 3v5. Key weaknesses: he does not like being dived on. Right? Something like Nocturne is completely anathema to Veigar. Because it's just, well, Veigar wants to... It's basically a late game assassin, and he wants to burst down their squishies. If someone like Nocturne jumps on his face, it's like, well, because he's so squishy, he's going to die to base damage alone. And if Veigar then doesn't burst Nocturne, in most cases he'll die. And then, like, Nocturne's absorbed with the burst. AP carry's happy because he won't get a nuclear, like, detonation to the face. But still. Like, at this point, always running out of mana. I want to be aggressive, but it's sort of, well, I have no idea where Xin is. Jarvan's, like, gone. Lee Sin is doing really well. So at least Jax is shut out of the game. And at the end of the day, I haven't been shut down, which is only bad news for them. I mean, what? I've basically farmed a needlessly large rod. So if you want to think about it that way, I'm sitting on, like, what was it? 6.1 thousand? Early. I'm 1,600 gold now on top of Ori, purely through Q farm. Right. And the other weakness Veigar has, he can't really clear neutral camps too quickly. I need to experiment with building Spirit Stone on Veigar, but it just seems to be that due to the absurd gold efficiency from farming Q, she might not actually need it. But this is one of those places where I do land cage correctly, right? Or it turns up with blue. Like, I don't have a blue, I'm incredibly jealous. Lee Sin's trying to make something happen. Lands a Q, but more to the point was I managed to land the stun completely and directly on top of her so she can't flash out of it. If I had put this in any position where it wouldn't hit her, she would have easily flashed out of this. I would have missed our kill and missed my blue. Like, stun it, fine. Lee Sin then has enough time to turn around and kick her, but it's just, well, like, goodbye. Right? I don't know. Oh, god damn it. This damage is absurd. Even by now, it's absurd. It's like, well, let's have a look in slow motion. So, he gets kicked out. So, actually, 50% of it was Lee Sin. Q did the 300, and R was complete overkill. Goodbye. They actually didn't need to ignite her. This is the problem when I play a new character. Don't really know damage potential. Veigar's damage potential is retardedly high. He pays that of being a glass cannon, but except the way I play him, I can get away with it purely by having perfect positioning. Position well, knowing how to just playing like someone like Vlad in a French play style works really well with Veigar, because it's just like, well, I have so much power and you're basically a huge threat. Price to be paid was sort of like, yeah, it comes in later. So how much did Q's do? Q's do 300 damage by themselves. She flashes it this time. Then we just keep trying to find her and we kill her, which is fine. We spot Xin Zhao trying to come down. I'm trying to see whether we can get anything done. Jarvan is still AFK, right? It's why they're now ahead in gold. I then come around the side, like saying, better positioning. I flash. Flash cage is something that is really good on Veigar, but you have to take your time to learn it. So I flashed that and landed the cage pretty much perfectly, although I did then misjudge my damage and did not manage to kill Caitlyn. Kennen, being a fellow Yordle, thankfully took the bullet for me, and I'm out of here. Or am I? No. I can now run around with a cage and manage to land at a max range. This is why I take movement speed. Movement speed really allows you to make stuff happen. Like, I can drop another meteor, Q, like, no, unfortunately Lee Sin dies. I can't do anything about this. Movement speed, I think, is quite essential on Veigar, considering his weaknesses are being dived on. Being able to move fast, it's the same with Vlad. Being able to move faster from their opponents negates the weakness of basically being all in. To some extent. You can't rely on it too much, but yeah, I catch Xin. Yay, free AP! Vlad sees everything as free health potions. I see everything as Veigar as like free ability power. Like, sweet! It's one of those that in that instance, right? I expected Ori to turn up around the side. It was more of a point of I didn't expect it so blazingly continue walking to me. Right? It's sort of, I'll try and bait a stun out. Like, nope, she wasn't having any of it. So I missed the stun, therefore I run the fuck away. It's that simple. So I will be able to move on to item choices again. If you think you're in for a really long laning phase, then Athene's Unholy Grail really does set you up for a really good laning phase. Like CDR, Veigar wants to farm his Q. Mana regeneration is high enough to sustain his Q farm. Like magic resist to mean he can't get blown to smithereens by the enemy before, you know, he's of a time when he can just effortlessly delete someone. Otherwise, it's just straightforward death, fire, grass brush. No questions asked. Right. As to what I max, this is another conundrum when you face Veigar, or when you play as Veigar, was if you max your W, it allows you to take more creep camps, it allows you to get more gold. If you max your E, or if you don't max your E, then you run the risk of not being able to just kill your lane opponent. Right? It's not uncommon that by the time you have a DFG, your this laning phase isn't over. You just repeatedly delete your opponent for like, and that's far more beneficial. In this case, I left my E on 2 points because that was enough. That was enough to unleash my entire combo on Ori because she rather stupidly went for Sorcerer's Shoes, and she'll suffer for this immensely later. Being a Yordle, I love cupcakes, and I just ate one. so Caitlyn can see me, and I bounce away. Then I come back again. Manage to land that, and then I want to leave. And like, Thresh's on my face, so I delete him. Sort of at the place where, like, well, I was in no range to kill anybody, and if I didn't kill Thresh, then he would just keep annoying me to the point that I couldn't kill anybody else. Right. Decision making and positioning as Veigar is quite key beyond Q farming. Q farming is the easy part. Knowing your decisions is the hard part. Like this cage stuns both of them. It's so sexy. No flashes, no nothing, just dead. I net my team 2 kills purely by landing that thing. And this is the other way of landing Dark Matter without a stun. Right? It's the same basically with Nidalee spears and other projectiles. Was you blocked off this entire area. What is she going to do? Right? Is just she wouldn't walk forward because then that would be further in your range. If she walks backwards, then you just shove the Dark Matter in such a place where she'll get hit by it, and she got hit by it. Other things you can do with Dark Matter: predict where the enemy's going to go. It's one of those situations where you force your opponent to do something where they're damned if they do and they're damned if they don't. So if they do attempt to dodge it, then in most cases that will result in them being forced towards you. And then if they do dodge it, no, if they don't dodge it, then they just get it to the head. They get like rocks to the head. Satisfying as fuck to land. I managed to somehow wind up with 603. 400 AP at 20 minutes. And now we delete everybody in the Baron pit. Or no, we get deleted. More to the point. And then Lee Sin splits and gets picked off by the sniper. Like, well, this isn't good. Same idea with Never Move, really, is you can use your cage to block off entire areas of the battlefield. So by blading a stun cage there, no one could get through. Anyone in this area couldn't go either way and could get a clean escape. It's a really good escaping tool. And what the hell that Dark Matter was aimed at, I don't know. This is... And my ult didn't launch, or it would have killed Xin. Right, easily would have killed him. This thing now does what? Even at this stage of the game, this one thing does close to almost 900 damage. It's just, anybody want a piece? Don't think so. Deleted. No, not quite, because I didn't have a DFG. Right. The other thing with regards to Cage is Veigar's range is not that high with regards to his main abilities R and Q. By being able to throw a cage down, you can position yourself in such a way where if you do get dived on, they will get stunned and you can walk away. Whereas your main prey is still like within hitting distance. So like always completely fucked. How much does my R even do? KABLOOEEEY! Except she still manages to live somehow because I don't have DFG. Right. Veigar's full combo will melt the enemy APC, but in the event that you can't land Dark Matter, DFG is still quite essential to basically 100-0 someone. Cage stays high, you're not getting out of here. And we kill him. Phew! Free AP! Yay! Why did Ori run around with full AP? It's like, meh. Building full AP against Veigar is not intrinsically bad, right? It's with regards to your positioning. If your positioning is absolutely goddamn awful, then yeah, it's a terrible idea. But when you're facing relatively long-range mages like Ori or say, I don't know, who else comes to mind? Malzahar, Anivia. These people generally won't let you get into a position where, okay, scratch Anivia, Anivia can, because you can just stun her and blow her up, but she has an egg. It's just... Put it this way, if you build completely defensive items, you'll deal no damage. If you deal no damage, you're no threat. Whereas if you build pure offensive, then you're just killing yourself. If I can get to you. Like, positioning and the finer nuances of how to engage and how to position is something that I'm still learning, right? I'm still learning, and intrinsically just... Oh, hi Zin, bye Zin. Deleted. It's just, there is no escape. And just repeated salvos of meteors on a like 6-second. Meteor does so much damage, especially late. This is only mid game, and I'm basically removing 50% HP from squishy targets just with Meteor Q. So how much is them? I've got 2 needlessly large rods. What, 3.2k extra? Essentially. It's, well, yeah, I'm already ahead of Oriana. I will be basically 5-6k on top of her. I can't iterate how gold efficient this is if you can get to farm it. Cages. Always cages. Other thing with cages, well, it's basically almost the same deal with Swain's Never Move. It gives an opportunity for your team to do something. And it forces mistakes. It's just like, well, my ADC is caught. Do I engage or do I hope that they won't engage on her? And then, because there's lack of communication on their team, it'll just go to shit. Whereas even if your team initiates, because their ADC or some other priority target is caught, then your team, even to initiate, will not be in such a bad spot. I mean, worst case scenario for them is you catch their squishy and you completely obliterate them. You've seen it happen. Your ADC tries to, like, go poke, gets caught, and melted. Because the rest of the team have, like, well, what's the Jax going to do with regards to poke? Nothing. And that's something that Veigar can exploit. Cage has deceptively long range if you know how to use it correctly. And because of the nature of the game with regards to which characters are the ones which are a threat to you and which ones are the ones which you want to kill, you can more often than not pick someone off. And you have the ability to. It's not like Swain, which takes a long ass time and they can flash out of it to safety. It's just press the delete button. And now we're dropping dark matter everywhere. I mean, I didn't do very much because I don't have a void staff yet, but still. Well, you'll see. You'll see. Positioning, still like just behind the front line, right? Don't want to be too ballsy about it, but apparently they want to initiate. And this is going to be an example of where I can't quite get to the back line. I mean, I thought I managed to land a stun on Caitlyn, but it didn't fire. Now I'm in a position where I'm in total shit, right? And this is the thing: if I don't burst Jax, then I'm fucked. Whereas if I do burst Jax, well, you can see what happens at the rest of it. Like, unfed Bruiser still managed to mangle my face. Result, I have to kill Jax, but the rest of the line is completely intact. And I can't do anything about it. Does Swain have that problem? No, he will just eat the Bruiser and then continue eating the rest of their line because, well, Swain. Different characters, different situations, etc, etc, etc. Carry cap has been assembled. I am now tidily sitting on what, almost 700 AP at 30 minutes. Kate is being really juicy. Always remember to laugh when you kill someone. So, wait, no, she was just being dumb. This was warded. What was she doing? What the fuck was she doing? Did she just have no map awareness? Well, welcome to Plat, ladies and gentlemen, where everybody is fucking retarded. Maybe she was just assuming I was doing race and wouldn't hit her. Or maybe she's probably busy with Alistair to notice where I'd gone and assume I wasn't here. So, yeah, just launch nukes. So, what? That does 1,300 damage by itself. That would amplify it by 20%. 1,300, so that's like 1.5, 1.6k nuke in your ult if DFG lands. That's almost her entirety of her health. Basically, DFG ult would just completely obliterate the ADC. Sort everything else, that's just for style. Because as Veigar, overkill is the best type of kill. If you have that in your mind, you'll be fine. And this is where being able to run around, like, this is the thing. I've iterated a lot of the time that I really love movement speed on Veigar. Like, it allows you to catch people, allows you to just do everything you want, like offensively or defensively. I don't run. I run 2109 as opposed to like 9021 because it just seems to be that the defense tree scales with Veigar better than the other one. But I'll need to do some experimentation on it. But in this case, it was like launch Cage. Cage directly on top of her, and she's fucked. Right. Never move, you can run around. If you place a cage perfectly, there's no countermeasure for it, short of like cleanse. I mean, the amount of skill required to land it is like why I guess it's as it is, but yeah, max rank, 2.5 seconds. To me, that's like, I don't know. Good Veigars, like good Swains, don't really exist in the world. It's why I like playing the rarer champions, because people don't know what they do. Because in this game, you can sort of tell what's Veigar's range, what's going to happen, where is he, what does he do. Oh my god, my face is melting. If they disrespect you, you kill them. And they have a habit of doing it. The same with Swain. It's just people are used to seeing fed LeBlancs. They're used to seeing fed other characters. Fed Swains, fed Veigars, not so much, and they just don't know. Like in this instance, I want to kill Kate, but I couldn't get my R off. She kind of been out of range. If I had R'd, she would have been dead. Don't know why Jarvan didn't do anything, but that was the free kill right there. Again, Never Move would have given her warning. Cage appears instantly, and suddenly there's really... well, shit. So in the meantime... I'm now tidily sitting on 905. I don't intend to die and have a flawless victory. We're now going to chase Jax to the ends of the freaking earth. And then we have to back off again. Cage, brilliant disengage tool. Position it correctly and you can... Like what were they going to do? Right? Put it in such an area where there's no gap between here and the wall. I mean, they waste so much time going around it. We will be long gone. It's a far better disengage tool than Never Move. Well, the hardest part of Veigar's kit? Maybe. I still feel positioning is the hardest part of Veigar's kit. Because in order to blow up the enemy, like your priority, the target you want to kill, you lack the mobility to do so, say a Kali or Fizz. Except that is basically what you are. I don't see Veigar as sort of the like battle mage type, who just sits in the middle, takes hits and keeps going. I could try that with like spell vamp, etc., but I have a feeling he wouldn't be as satisfying. It's just the ability to delete someone is so like strong. I don't think I could. I personally don't think I could play him in another way. But then again, like all my guides, I specifically state, this is not how I demand you must play the champion. This is how I play the champion. You're welcome to try your own ways if you want to, but nah. In the meantime, Cage not in range. We're now wondering what to do. So at this stage of the game, how much does the Meteor do to Jax? 500 damage apiece. To Jax with 140 MR. I know I do have a Void Staff, but when bruisers start taking spells to do 500 damage, they are incredibly scared. Like, really scared. I mean, if that did 500 damage to Jax, you can imagine how much it would do to someone like Caitlyn. I mean, our ADC is now being mullered. And again, I'm in a position where, well, I just wiped out half of Zin's health with Meteor Q. It's like, this fight, not gonna really do much. I'm gonna see if I can find Ori. No, not gonna happen. Just keep pushing then. Bot was fine, right? Nothing was going overly, like, in danger, but it was more the fact that this was 3v3. And we had a chance to kill Zin, which we did. And because we're not getting to Ori, we can go back to the fight down here. She might get flamed for her team for not really helping, but she did just use all her stuff. Try to find Jax. Flash is over. KABLOOEEEY! It's like we're trying to find Jax, but it's just we've watered this and we know Caitlyn's trying to help. So summon Dark Matter at a point. It's like Dark Matter killed her, right? I kid you not. Because where is she gonna go? This is what I mean by positioning Dark Matter in a manner that you can land it without having them being stunned or CC'd in any way, shape or form. Right? Where is she going to go? She's not going to move towards you, because then that would just be suicide. She has to move back. And, well, dead. That wasn't the ult. I ulted Jax, which didn't really do that much, but I just dropped a rock on Caitlyn's head and it removed, what, 1,100 damage? It's like, way! Rock solve everything! That was my favorite saying as Veigar. It wasn't kablooey, it wasn't deleted, it was simply rock solve everything, because to me it was so satisfying to just land a rock on someone's head and kill them with it. Because you stun them and they know the sound, they know what's happening, but they can't do anything about it as something falls from the sky, lands squarely on their head and kills them. No half measures. No half measures. So I managed to carry. I mean, Lee Sin did do a shit ton of work. But what else can we do is prediction, right? Read the thing as I say, well, Kennen's slightly exposed. Jax will probably want to jump on him. So Jax then comes in and is like, well, let's just preemptively throw the cage down. And then your team runs out of it on the other side of it. And then the boosters can't follow. Like, oh well, now we just keep outputting damage where we can. Just staying slowly outside. You can cage around yourself so they can't walk to you, or else you just stun. Take Dark Matter to the face and we just keep kiting. Right? Veigar's kit is not, say, 100% kiting, but you can do it and you should learn how to do it as much as you can. Because the opposite of if you don't is, well, you die. So, what do we got? I go back to base. I want to buy a Rylai's, actually. But, oh my god. I just remember myself playing in Season 2 and remembering, no, Season 1 actually, how much I hated people who built Rylai's. But to be fair, I guess that was as the first item, right? As a last item, I don't see why not. In this situation, what else was going to build? Like, I'm not really in danger of being bursted per se, I'm just in danger of being jumped on and killed. Like, if they jump on me, I can use stun, and then I can go, I just want to keep kiting them, so it's why I want to Rylai's. Jax got detonated. Not as much damage as wanted to, but still, it's a fair amount. And Cage stays high and we delete Caitlyn. Flash Q. Then we can't find Thresh, so we go and end the game, or at least remove an inhibitor. Caitlyn, Halaster butts Ori out of my cage, which is annoying. And we're basically maintaining a respectful distance and seeing if we can cage someone and kill them. I have my Iron Ori and she knows it. The amount of space she's now giving me is just so different from the laning phase. Like, come closer, I won't hurt you much. Right? Flawless victory. Until, like, Xin comes along and wants a piece of me. Then just delete Xin. Really. Just delete them. This stage of the game, it's you want a piece? Do you want a piece? Come at me. I missed the cage and goes round it. Deleted. And I'm in danger of, like, dying horribly. But it's okay. Nexus dies. Flawless victory! No. New series? Most likely. And no, it's like the other character I'm now learning is Lulu. and I'm playing her a lot as well. Maybe I'm being attracted to like yordles. I don't know. Maybe just purple fuzzy thingies. Oh well. I hope you enjoyed this. Have fun.